Hi there, these comments are for Trong, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And let's take a look here. You say, I took a TOEFL test before and my score are, so you had 17 reading, 24 listening, 15 speaking, 16 writing. That puts you at about 72 out of 120. You said, I will take my TOEFL exam in 3 months, so could you please guide me in a way to reach my dream score? My goal in the TOEFL is to get more than 100 to attend a high school in North America. My desired scores are, when you say scores, you mean subtotals. 28 reading, 28 listening, 25 speaking, 25 writing. So basically you want to go from here 72 points to 106. So you want to improve your reading about 11 points. You want to improve your listening 4 points. You want to improve your speaking 10 points. And you want to improve your writing 9. So then your question is, can you make these improvements in 3 months? I would say no. I don't think you can do this in 3 months. You just have too big of a hill to climb. So I'm going to answer that with a resounding no. I can give you some examples. One of my students recently, Raquel, her TOEFL score was, it was about 72 when I met her, about the same as your score. She worked really hard in 2 months' time and got 85, and that was very good improvements. I had another student, I think his name was Rasa, and when I met him, his score was 82, and he worked really, really hard, and in about 2.5 months, he scored 105, which is kind of where you want to be. But based on where you are right now and where you want to go, probably not. Okay, your next question is, could you tell me some materials and books to achieve my scores? And if each day, if I spend 10 hours to learn for the test, could you tell me a specific study plan for the test? Yes, I can do that. I definitely can do that. Okay, so my advice to you is if you go into my online TOEFL course, or once you join my course, here's what I want you to do. I recommend for you to go through the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar lessons first. Do those first and spend a really hard time or spend a long time on learning the vocabulary in TOEFL vocabulary lesson number 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's going to be important for you. Also, when you do the pronunciation part of my course, you want to complete the pre-test for vowel and consonant sounds. That way I can tell you what areas of your pronunciation you need to improve on. And when you get to grammar, you want to take the pre-test in the grammar part of my course, because that'll tell you what areas that you need to review more in that section of my course. So once you've done the first 3 sections of my course, and just doing that will probably take 3 months, by the way, then I recommend you go to the listening and the reading parts of my course. Now, there's different ways of using this part of my course, so you might want to write this down. Here are some suggestions. As you're going through the lectures, I recommend that you take down, or you get down in note form, the main and the most important supporting points of the lectures you're listening to. I have about 40 different listening practice tests that you can start completing today. And really work hard in getting down in note form the main points of those lectures. Now, as you're doing the reading practice in the reading part of my course, I want you to do the same thing. Remember, in the reading part of my course, your goal is to increase your reading speed to at least 300 words per minute. So that's important. So as you do your speed reading practice, first of all, you read the passage, and then after about a minute, you answer the questions. Your goal is to try to get 60 to 80%. right? Just reading the passage one time for a minute. Now, once you've done that, I want you to do some additional reading practice. So like you're doing when you're practicing the lectures in the listening part of my course, I also want you to get down in note form the main and the most important supporting points of the reading passages. Now, as you do the listening and the reading practice in my online course, as you're taking those notes, I want you to do two things, Trong. Number one, I want you to write 3 academic summaries each week right now. Each summary should be about 250 words, right? So you're focusing on writing about other people's ideas. In addition to doing the writing practice, I also recommend that you do some speaking practice, again, focusing on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading passages in the lectures. So you should do 3 to 5 60-second oral summaries each week. Now, if you can just do that, right? And so far, I'm giving you some recommendations on the first 5 sections of my course. So you've already done the pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary practice, and then you're now doing the listening and the reading. As you do the listening and the reading, you're writing and speaking about that information, and then finally, you can start the writing and speaking sections of my course. All right, that's when you will be submitting practice tests to me. You'll send me independent and integrated speaking and writing practice tests, and I will give you comments on those things so you can mark your progress. So what you can do is, my recommendation for you is, after about 5 months of serious study, you're studying maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. I'm not going to necessarily say 10 hours a day. You'll probably burn out. But if you need some extra things to do each day, you can watch movies. That would be good. So in addition to using my course, you can watch movies. You can also watch television shows. You can even spend some time reading magazines, newspapers, and books to continue to increase your exposure. Then after about 4 or 5 months, you can go to the 8th section of my course and you can complete what's called a full-length IBT practice test. It takes about 5 hours and it simulates the actual TOEFL exam. So once you've done the practice test, it takes a couple of days, and then you will get all your subtotal scores back, your reading, listening, speaking, and writing. You'll get an overall score back, and then you can see how close you are to your goal. So if you're close to 100, then that means you're ready to take the TOEFL IBT exam. If not, that means that you want to continue using the lessons in my online TOEFL course. All right, Trong, anyway, thank you very much for your comments on my website, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.